Have you ever shared something deeply personal with your family, only to wish you could take it back the moment the words left your mouth? As we age, we accumulate a lifetime of experiences, wisdom, and yes, even regrets. But here's the kicker. Not everything we've learned or felt needs to be laid bare, especially after 65. In this video, I'm diving into 8 crucial things you should never share with your family as you embrace your golden years. These aren't about hiding who you are. They're about protecting your peace, preserving your dignity, and strengthening the bonds that matter most. Why should you stick around until the end? Because understanding these secrets could save you from awkward family dinners, unnecessary guilt trips, or even those quiet moments of regret that creep in late at night. You'll uncover practical insights to navigate tricky conversations with grace, keep your relationships thriving, and avoid the pitfalls that so many unknowingly stumble into as they age. Plus, I'll reveal how a simple shift in what you choose to say, or not say, can transform the way your loved ones see you, ensuring you're remembered for your wisdom, not your worries. So, stay with me, because by the time we're done, you'll have a roadmap to communicate smarter, live happier, and age with confidence. Don't you want that for yourself and your family? If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. 1. The power of silence. Not every thought needs a voice, and not every opinion needs to be shared with the world. There is an extraordinary wisdom that comes with time, a wisdom that reveals the truth that silence is often more powerful than words. When we are younger, we feel this burning need to be heard. We have an innate desire to explain, to defend, to argue, because in our hearts, we believe that the right words, spoken at the right time, will be the key to unlocking understanding and connection. We find ourselves exhausted, chasing after approval, trying to make people see the world through our eyes, trying to explain away misunderstandings that never seem to resolve. But as we grow older, we begin to understand a quiet, yet profound truth. Most people don't listen to understand, they listen to respond. This realization can be so freeing. It's the moment when we stop feeling like we must justify every choice, every action, every thought to those who have already made up their minds. It's when we stop wasting our precious energy on conversations that go nowhere, where our words fall on deaf ears. Instead, we come to value silence, not as an absence of speech, but as a presence of peace, a conscious choice that nourishes our spirit. Silence is not weakness. It is not disengagement. It is, in fact, a form of quiet strength. It's a symbol of someone who has lived enough to know that not every battle is worth fighting. Yes, there was a time when we might have raised our voices in frustration, eager to be heard, desperate to make someone understand. But as time passes, we learn that some things are better left unsaid. Not because they don't matter, but because our peace matters more. When you stop feeling the overwhelming need to explain yourself to others, something magical happens. You gain clarity. The kind of clarity that allows you to look at people for who they truly are, not who you hope they will be. When you come to understand that you cannot force understanding, that it must be chosen, it becomes an incredibly liberating experience. There is a freedom in no longer trying to change minds or convince others of your point of view. No longer do you feel obligated to defend your past, your choices, or your values. You realize that wisdom isn't about how many people agree with you. It's about how much peace you have within yourself. And silence gives you that peace. It allows you to stop seeking validation from others, and instead, you begin to listen to the only voice that matters, the voice within you. With this wisdom, you start to embrace silence as a gift to yourself. In the quiet, you can hear not just the world around you, but the still, powerful voice within. You begin to realize that you don't need to fill every moment with noise, with words, or with explanations. You don't need to search for answers from others. You have everything you need right within you. The more you embrace silence, the more you find peace. A peace that no conversation, no argument, no approval from the outside world could ever give you. 2. Stop waiting. There comes a heart-wrenching moment in life when you finally realize no one is coming to save you. No one is going to sweep in and make everything better. We spend so many years giving, waiting for acknowledgement, hoping for validation, expecting the people we've cared for to recognize our sacrifices, to show us gratitude for the love and effort we've poured into them. But the painful truth is, that recognition might never come the way we imagined. The people we cared for, the ones who once depended on us, have their own lives to live now. And the longer we wait for that gratitude, for the apologies, or for someone to notice our efforts, the more we lose ourselves in disappointment. How much of your life have you spent waiting? Waiting for someone to return the love you so freely gave? Waiting for an apology that never comes? For acknowledgement that never arrives? It's an agonizing realization, but it's also an awakening. Because once you stop waiting, once you release the chains of expectation, you can finally start living for yourself. The world will not stop to recognize all the sacrifices you made, and it's time to accept that. It moves forward, regardless of your pain, and so must you. This doesn't mean your sacrifices were in vain, nor does it mean your love and kindness were wasted. What it means is that you cannot build your happiness on the shaky foundation of expecting others to return your affection or care. If you do, you will constantly be at the mercy of their whims, always seeking validation from others, always wondering if your worth is measured by how often they call, or whether they show up when you need them most. But here's the liberating truth. Your worth was never tied to anyone else's recognition. You were already enough. You have always been enough. Now, more than ever, it is time to live for yourself. Yes, it's easy to feel abandoned in these quieter years, to feel forgotten, to fall into the trap of believing that the world has moved on without you. But I promise you, you are not forgotten. You are simply in a different season, a season where the focus must shift inward, not outward. This is your time, your moment to create joy within yourself, not to wait for someone else to bring it to you. You have given so much, but now it's time to receive. Receive the quiet peace of solitude. Receive the beauty in doing things for yourself. Embrace the stillness and find joy in it, because you are the one who holds the key to your happiness. Let go of the weight of expectation, because life is not waiting for your validation. It's waiting for you to embrace it, fully, unapologetically, and on your terms. Stop waiting for someone to save you. You were never meant to be saved. You were meant to discover that everything you have ever sought has always been within you. 3. Emotional independence. Finding joy in your own company. There comes a time in every life when we must learn to stand alone, not because we are lonely, but because we finally understand that our happiness cannot be placed in someone else's hands. For decades, our lives have been defined by the people we took care of, the roles we played: parent, spouse, provider, friend. We have been needed, depended on, and often defined by what we gave to others. But as the years go by, those roles begin to fade. Children grow up and have families of their own. Friends drift away, some by distance, others by choice. The house, once bustling with the noise of daily life, becomes quiet. And in that silence, we are confronted with a question that can feel terrifying. Who am I when no one needs me anymore? This question is not a curse, but a gift. It's in these moments of stillness, of solitude, that we realize that solitude is not the same as loneliness. Loneliness is the absence of connection, the painful emptiness that leaves you yearning for someone else to fill it. But solitude? Solitude is the choice to embrace your own company, to recognize that you are enough, just as you are. It's the act of learning to find joy, not because others have given it to you, but because you've learned to create it within yourself. This journey of emotional independence is not always easy. For years, our happiness may have been tied to the presence of others. The warmth of family, the companionship of a partner, the reassurance that we were never truly alone. But life moves on, and it's in this transition that we must learn to be whole on our own. When your peace is no longer dependent on the presence of others, you begin to experience a freedom like no other. True freedom comes when you realize that your happiness doesn't need anyone's approval. What brings you joy now? What makes your soul come alive, without the need for someone else to validate it? Maybe it's the simple pleasure of your morning routine, or losing yourself in the pages of a book, or walking in nature, the warmth of the sun on your face, breathing in the fresh air with no agenda. When you embrace your own company, you stop waiting for someone else to make life meaningful. You stop measuring your days by the number of phone calls you receive, or how often someone visits. You stop feeling forgotten and start feeling free. It is your life, your time, and you don't need anyone else to complete it. You are not missing anything. You are just entering a new chapter, one where your own company is not something to endure, but something to celebrate. When you find joy in yourself, you realize you were never really alone. You were always enough, and you always will be. 4. Setting boundaries. There comes a moment in life when you realize you no longer owe anyone an explanation. You've spent years, perhaps even decades, meeting the needs and expectations of others. You've been the reliable one, the caregiver, the provider, the one everyone turned to in times of need. Your days have been consumed by responsibilities, some spoken, others more subtle but just as demanding. You've carried them all without question, because that was your role, that was what was expected, and you embraced it wholeheartedly. But somewhere, as you journeyed through life, something within you shifted. The weight of those constant responsibilities, once seen as an honor, now feels more like an unbearable burden. It's no longer sustainable. And yet, the idea of saying no, of putting yourself first, feels completely foreign. It feels like you're betraying the very essence of who you've been, your identity, built on self-sacrifice and putting others ahead of yourself. But here's a hard truth that many people don't realize until it's too late. You are not obligated to be everything to everyone. You are not required to be the perpetual giver, to keep stretching yourself thin, to bend over backward to maintain peace. You don't owe anyone an explanation for choosing to protect your time, your energy, and your inner peace. Setting boundaries isn't about shutting people out or being selfish. It's about recognizing that you, too, deserve to take up space in this world. Your time and emotional well-being are valuable, and they are not infinite. You've already given so much, and it's time for you to pause, to stop, and to permit yourself to change. To recognize that just because you've always said yes doesn't mean you have to continue saying yes indefinitely. You are allowed to evolve. You are allowed to make decisions that prioritize your mental, emotional, and physical health. And most importantly, you are allowed to say no. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. The most difficult part of setting boundaries isn't the act of saying no. It's dealing with the guilt that follows. You'll worry about disappointing others, about being labeled as unkind, or about disrupting the very cycle that has defined so much of your life. But here's a liberating truth. The people who genuinely care about you, the ones who love and respect you, will understand. They will honor the space you need, the choices you make, and the limits you set. Those who don't, those who have always valued you for what you could do for them, will be the ones who pull away. Let them go. It is not your responsibility to keep everyone comfortable at the expense of your well-being. You don't need to be the foundation for everyone's lives while your own needs remain unfulfilled. You are not being selfish for protecting your peace. You are simply acknowledging that you, too, deserve care, respect, and the right to decide how your time and energy are spent. No one is going to protect your peace for you. No one else will remind you that you deserve rest, solitude, and the ability to say no without guilt. That responsibility is yours alone. And when you embrace it, when you stop explaining yourself, when you stop seeking validation for your choices, when you stop apologizing for choosing yourself, you will experience a freedom you never knew was possible. The freedom to live your life on your terms, free from the weight of obligation, free from the cycle of constant giving, free from the guilt of saying no. You've earned it. You've spent enough years choosing everyone else. Now, it's your time to choose you. 5. Prioritize your health, because you deserve it. Your body and mind have carried you through decades of life. Through struggles, through sacrifices, through countless demands placed upon you by others. You've spent so much time putting everyone else first, believing that your health, your well-being, could wait. That it wasn't as important as the needs of others. But let me tell you something. Time has a way of catching up with us, and neglect, no matter how quietly it creeps, will eventually demand its due. Aging is inevitable, but decline doesn't have to be. Too many people assume that the aches, the stiffness, the fading energy they feel are just natural signs of getting older. But more often than not, these are simply the result of years of neglect, years of putting yourself at the bottom of the list. The joints that ache, the stiff muscles, the energy that fades, all of these are reminders that your body has been ignored for too long. And yes, it's painful to face, but it's not too late to begin taking care of yourself. It's never too late. You don't have to run marathons or lift heavy weights to begin to prioritize your health. Movement is essential, no matter your age. A walk in the fresh air, a few stretches, keeping your muscles engaged, all of these things can help you regain a sense of vitality. Your body doesn't want to be young again. It simply wants to be cared for. When you stop moving, you stop living. It's as simple as that. The smallest daily actions, standing, reaching, bending, become so much harder, not because of age, but because of inactivity. And the reality is, the body you wake up to tomorrow will be determined by how you treat it today. Your body is not a vessel to carry you through the years. It is the only vessel you have, and it deserves your attention, your respect, and your care. But it's not just about the body. The mind also requires nourishment. Too many people reach their later years and allow their world to shrink. They stop learning, they stop growing, they stop engaging. They settle into a monotonous routine filled with TV shows, regrets, and memories of what could have been. But your mind, just like your body, is a muscle, and it too must be exercised. Your mind is capable of growth at any age, and the moment you stop challenging it, it begins to shrink. Read books that make you think. Have conversations that push you to think deeper. Learn new things, even if no one expects you to. Curiosity is not something that expires with age. Your emotional health deserves the same level of care. Negative emotions, worry, regret, resentment, will age you faster than anything else. Fill your mind with negativity, and that's what you will become. But if you choose to focus on gratitude, on appreciation for the life you still have, your mind will remain sharp, vibrant, and full of life. Taking care of yourself is not a luxury. It's a necessity. For years, you took care of everyone else. Now it's your turn. There's no prize for self-neglect, no reward for sacrificing your health for the sake of others. The only way to reclaim the time you lost is to start now. You deserve to live well for as long as you possibly can. Your body, your mind, your spirit, they all deserve your care. This is not a selfish choice. It's the most loving thing you can do for yourself. 6. Letting go and forgiving, the freedom to heal. There comes a moment in life when you realize that carrying the past, holding on to old wounds, does nothing but weigh you down. The betrayals, the hurt, the words that were never spoken, the apologies that never came, these things have lingered like heavy stones in your heart, and you've carried them for far too long. You replay the painful moments in your mind, questioning what you could have done differently, wondering if you should have said more, been more, done more. But the past does not change, no matter how many times you revisit it, no matter how tightly you cling to it. It stays as it was. The only thing that can change is you, the choice you make to let go. Forgiveness is often misunderstood. It is not about erasing the pain, about pretending that things didn't happen the way they did. Forgiveness is not about rewriting history. It is about choosing peace over bitterness, about recognizing that holding on to resentment does nothing but poison your present and darken your future. Some wounds will never be acknowledged by those who caused them. Some people will never say the words you deserve to hear. Some wrongs will never be made right. Waiting for others to fix the past only prolongs your suffering. The truth is, you don't need closure from anyone but yourself. The past doesn't need to be fixed for you to move forward. You can choose today to let go, not because what happened didn't matter, but because your peace matters more. Letting go is an act of self-liberation. It is the recognition that you don't need to hold on to every disappointment, every unspoken apology, every wrong that was never righted. You can choose to release the weight that has kept you stuck in a cycle of pain. You don't have to keep reopening old wounds just to remind yourself that they exist. You can choose healing. Perhaps the hardest part of letting go is forgiving yourself. The mistakes you made, the regrets you carry, the choices you wish you could undo, they linger, whispering that you should have done better, that you should have known more. But here's the truth. You did the best you could with the knowledge and the circumstances you had at the time. You were learning, just like everyone else. Regret won't change the past, but it can rob you of your future if you allow it to. You cannot move forward while holding on to the past. You cannot find peace while carrying the weight of every hurt, every mistake, every regret. At some point, you must choose to free yourself. Not because the past was right, but because you deserve to live without the burden of it. It is not about giving up. It is not about showing weakness. It is the epitome of strength and the most courageous thing you can do for yourself. It's the profound decision, the resolute choice, to step forward into your future with hope, to claim a new life that is not defined by the scars of your past. It is finally accepting that your peace is worth far more than the pain you've endured. It is about telling yourself that you will no longer let past hurts dictate the direction of your life. The person you were, the mistakes you've made, the losses you've faced, none of that defines who you are now. You are not your past, and you certainly are not the things that have tried to break you. You are who you choose to become next, and the beauty of it is, you hold the power to choose your freedom. Final thoughts. Live without apology, my dear friend. There comes a time in life when you can no longer afford to seek permission to exist on your terms. For too many years, you shaped yourself around the needs and expectations of others. You molded yourself into roles: parent, partner, employee, caretaker, always giving, always sacrificing, always bending to make the world around you run smoothly. And you did it all with love. You did it with grace. But now, as the years ahead of you, you realize a truth that's impossible to ignore. No matter how much you gave, no matter how hard you worked, the world kept moving. People changed, circumstances shifted, and you find that the things you once poured yourself into no longer demand the same of you. So, the question now is, who are you when the world no longer needs you in the same way it used to? This is the point when many of us feel a sense of loss, a deep uncertainty about the path ahead. We wait for someone else to tell us what comes next, but here's the truth: there's no more waiting. No one else can dictate the next chapter of your life. You are not waiting for permission to live fully. You do not need validation to set boundaries, to prioritize your happiness, or to walk away from obligations that no longer serve your soul. You have every right to choose peace, and you do not owe anyone an explanation for why you no longer want to engage in old conflicts. You do not owe them a reason for stepping back from draining conversations, for deciding that you will no longer allow negativity to rob you of your energy. You've already proven your worth. You have lived. You have loved. You have given of yourself in ways that have shaped the lives of others, And now, you owe no one an apology for choosing yourself. No one has the right to demand your energy or time unless you choose to give it. The people who truly care about you will honor your decision to live in peace. Those who don't, they were never really there for you, to begin with. They were only there for what you could offer them. And that's okay. Let go of the idea that you must always be available, always accommodating, always putting yourself last. Let go of the guilt that says you must sacrifice everything to prove your worth. You are not here to be everything for everyone. You are here to experience life, not through the weight of obligation, but through the joy of simply being alive. Take pleasure in the small things. Relish the beauty of waking up without carrying the weight of unnecessary burdens. Take care of your body, not out of fear of what's to come, but out of deep respect for the life that still lies ahead of you. Your body, your mind, your spirit, they deserve to be nurtured, to be cared for, to be treated with love. When you prioritize yourself, it is not an act of selfishness. It is an act of reverence for the time you have left. You can give from a place of strength, from a place of peace, from a place of inner balance, when you start by choosing to be kind to yourself. And if silence brings you more comfort than words, then let it be. Speak only when your words hold meaning, when they have the power to bring light, to bring clarity, to bring peace. The truth is, you have waited long enough. This is your time. No more waiting for permission. No more seeking approval. This is the time to embrace the life that still belongs to you. To live fully, to live without regrets, to live unapologetically for yourself. 1. Maintain a healthy body. Taking care of your health should be the most sacred responsibility you carry, regardless of the season of life you find yourself in. Over the years, it's so easy to become consumed by the needs of others. Whether you've been raising children, building a career, supporting your spouse, or caring for aging parents, it's natural to push your own needs to the back burner. But here's the truth. You matter. Your health matters. Research after research has shown that when you prioritize self-care, your life flourishes. You become happier, more clear-headed, and you begin to live longer, more fulfilled days. Yes, the aging process will bring changes. Metabolism slows, muscle mass dwindles, bones become fragile, and energy can sometimes feel fleeting. The risk of health issues like heart disease, osteoporosis, arthritis, and diabetes increases. But here's the empowering truth. While some aspects of aging are beyond your control, so much of it can be influenced through intentional self-care. You have the power to manage, prevent, and even reverse some health challenges with the choices you make today. The earlier you take control of your well-being, the more vibrant your life will be as you age. A key part of this is through the foods you nourish yourself with. Opting for a balanced, nutritious diet is the foundation of maintaining your energy, your mood, and your strength. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Whole foods, fresh fruits and vegetables, lean proteins, healthy fats, these should be your building blocks. Stay hydrated, drink plenty of water, and keep your body fueled with the right nutrients. When you cut back on processed foods, sugar, and unhealthy fats, you're giving your body the gift of vitality and energy. It's not just about looking good on the outside, it's about feeling good, strong, vibrant, and alive on the inside. And physical activity. It is just as essential. But that doesn't mean you need to become a gym junkie or push yourself to extremes. Gentle movements like walking, swimming, or yoga are just as powerful for maintaining mobility and health. When you incorporate strength training, even at a lighter level, it helps keep your bones and muscles strong. Flexibility exercises, such as stretching or Tai Chi, are equally important for balance and preventing falls. And don't forget the power of a good laugh or an hour spent gardening. The benefits of joy cannot be overstated. Remember, mental and emotional health are just as important. A healthy mind nourishes the body. Engage in activities that bring you joy, whether it's painting, reading, or volunteering. Spend time with people who lift you. Nurture those relationships. Don't let loneliness isolate you. And when stress feels like it's overwhelming you, practice mindfulness, meditation, deep breathing, or journaling. They create space for peace, allowing you to process the weight of life with grace. Your health is not just about you. It is a gift to those you love. You are the creator of your future, and you have the power to live it the way you choose. Prioritize your health today, and you will have the strength, vitality, and clarity to enjoy all the beautiful moments life has in store for you. 2. Pursue your interests. In the whirlwind of life, many people, especially as they grow older, find themselves dedicating almost every ounce of their energy to the well-being of their families, careers, and the ceaseless list of daily responsibilities. It's a sacrifice driven by love, duty, and the desire to provide for those we cherish. But somewhere along the way, our passions, those little sparks of joy and fulfillment that once lit up our hearts, tend to get buried under piles of obligations. The constant juggling act of work, family, and society's expectations often leaves little room for the things that make us feel alive. Yet, there comes a point in every person's life, especially as the years roll on, where you realize that your own happiness and well-being matter just as much, if not more, than meeting everyone else's needs. This is your time. The chance to rediscover yourself, to reignite that passion and those interests that once made your heart beat faster. You've lived your life for others for so long. Now, it's time to permit yourself to live for you. And trust me, it's not selfish, it's necessary. Think back to those moments when you felt inspired, when you could lose yourself in an activity that brought you pure joy. Maybe it was painting, crafting, or strumming a guitar. Perhaps you've always dreamed of writing a book or capturing the beauty of the world through a camera lens, but life just got in the way. The beauty of where you are now is that there is no perfect time to begin. The perfect time is right now, without hesitation, without waiting for everything to align. The time for your dreams, your hobbies, and your passions is today. Engaging in creative, intellectual, or physical activities is more than just a way to pass the time. It's a life-affirming act that nourishes your mind, body, and soul. If you're feeling uncertain about what to dive into, don't worry. The possibilities are endless. You could sign up for a pottery class, take up gardening, or even get your feet wet in something new like dance, photography, or even a new language. The beauty of trying something new is that it reignites a sense of wonder and curiosity. It challenges you, fills you with excitement, and makes you feel alive in ways you might have forgotten. And for those of you who've longed to travel but felt like there was always a reason to wait, this is your moment. Whether it's visiting a new city or just exploring hidden gems in your neighborhood, the world is waiting for you. Don't fall into the trap of believing you'll travel when the time is right, because, frankly, life doesn't pause for perfection. Life moves, and it's up to you to seize it. Additionally, pursuing your interests can open up the world to incredible new friendships. Whether you join a local hiking group, a book club, or a volunteer organization, you will meet like-minded individuals who share your passions. There is something truly magical about connecting with others over shared interests. It fosters a sense of belonging, combats loneliness, and injects fresh energy into your life. Social interactions, particularly those rooted in mutual respect and enthusiasm, can uplift your emotional well-being and bring unexpected joy. Ultimately, pursuing your passions isn't just about filling your schedule. It's about enriching your soul, restoring your sense of purpose, and opening doors to new experiences that bring you peace and excitement. You've spent years nurturing others. Now it's time to nurture yourself. You owe it to yourself to live fully, to embrace every moment with enthusiasm, and to never again postpone joy. This phase of life is yours to shape. Embrace it fully. Let it be filled with passion, curiosity, and an unwavering commitment to living in the present. The world is waiting for you to rediscover your spark. Don't wait another minute. Your happiness is now. 3. Secure financial independence. Financial independence is something we often overlook, especially when we're busy giving everything to our families. But when the years begin to show, and we realize that we've given so much of ourselves to others, it becomes glaringly clear. It's time to turn that focus inward. It's time to ask yourself, am I financially prepared for the future? Many of us have spent our lives prioritizing the financial needs of our children, helping them pay for school, weddings, or buying homes. And while this generosity comes from a place of immense love, it can sometimes leave us exposed and vulnerable in our later years. As the years pass and we face the inevitable realities of aging, our financial security becomes the foundation upon which everything else rests. Let's face it, healthcare costs are rising, unexpected emergencies pop up, and retirement can feel like an uncertain road. But with the right planning, financial independence doesn't have to feel like a dream. It can be a reality. Having financial freedom isn't just about affording luxuries. It's about having the peace of mind to know you can make decisions based on what's best for you, not out of necessity or fear. When you have the resources to cover your basic needs and unexpected costs, you reclaim control over your life. Start by prioritizing savings, even if it's just a small amount each month. Start now. The best time to secure your future is today. Set aside money for retirement, for unforeseen medical expenses, and for anything else life may throw your way. Don't wait until it's too late to plan. Build that cushion now, and thank yourself later. If you're feeling overwhelmed by the prospect of planning, don't hesitate to seek guidance. Financial advisors are there to help you navigate through options such as investments, long-term care insurance, and other financial strategies that can safeguard your future. And it's not just about saving, it's about smart investing. Consider diversifying your income sources. Whether it's through investments, rental property, or even part-time work, having multiple income streams gives you the freedom to live without the constant worry of finances. But the journey doesn't stop there. Cultivate financial awareness. Track your spending, understand your habits, and keep debt at bay. Learn about budgeting and investing. Take control of your financial narrative. This isn't just about securing money. It's about securing your freedom. By focusing on your financial well-being, you're gifting yourself the ability to live life with dignity, confidence, and peace of mind. Financial independence isn't about wealth. It's about freedom. The freedom to live life on your terms, to embrace joy, and to face whatever challenges arise with the certainty that you're prepared. In this way, you give yourself the ultimate gift: control over your future. It's a gift that keeps on giving. 4. Stop comparing yourself to others. In a world where comparisons are inevitable, especially as we age, it's crucial to stop measuring your worth against others. As women, we're often bombarded by the unrealistic images of youth and perfection that flood our social media feeds, advertisements, and even well-meaning advice from friends and family. It's easy to fall into the trap of comparing yourself to the younger, seemingly flawless women you see everywhere. But let me tell you, comparison is a thief of joy. It steals away your peace, your sense of self-worth, and your ability to truly appreciate who you are. Aging is a natural, inevitable part of life. It's a journey that takes us through countless experiences, joyful moments, heartaches, triumphs, and losses. Every wrinkle, every gray hair, every laugh line is a testament to the richness of your life. They're not flaws. They're the evidence of a life well lived. It's easy to get caught up in the pressure to stay youthful or to measure yourself against others. But let's stop for a moment and ask ourselves, why? Why should we be ashamed of aging? Why should we hide our experiences or our wisdom? When you stop comparing yourself to others, you start to embrace your unique beauty and strength. True beauty isn't about looking like someone else. It's about feeling comfortable in your skin, celebrating your journey, and owning every single mark of life. Instead of focusing on what you've lost, shift your focus to what you've gained, the wisdom, the memories, the love you've shared. Your beauty is in your heart, your experiences, your kindness, and your ability to radiate confidence and self-love, no matter what age you are. And let's talk about the illusion of perfection in the media. Social media is notorious for presenting an idealized version of life that's often carefully curated, filtered, and edited. It's easy to forget that behind those perfect images are real women. Women who face the same struggles, insecurities, and challenges as you. Don't fall into the trap of thinking that someone else's life is better than yours simply because it appears that way online. True fulfillment comes from within, from recognizing your worth and finding peace in your skin. By letting go of comparisons and embracing who you are, you reclaim your power. You stop seeking validation from others and start cultivating your sense of self-worth. This is your life, your journey, and you are enough. When you let go of comparison, you free yourself to love and celebrate the beautiful person you've become. Someone who is strong, wise, and deserving of all the love and happiness life has to offer. Let this be your reminder. You are not defined by your age, your appearance, or anyone else's standards. You are defined by your character, your resilience, and your ability to find joy in every stage of life. Stop comparing, and start celebrating the incredible, powerful woman you've become. 5. Stay calm in all situations. In any family dynamic, you often become the emotional and spiritual backbone, a source of support and guidance for those you love, especially during the toughest moments. You may be the one others turn to for strength, comfort, or advice, and the weight of that responsibility can be both humbling and overwhelming. But as you navigate through life's ups and downs, maintaining your calmness is not just a personal necessity, it's crucial for keeping peace and harmony within the family. When you stay calm, you're not just preserving your well-being, but also fostering a sense of stability and safety for those around you. The calm, composed energy you bring to the table helps others think more clearly, assess challenges rationally, and come up with solutions that are both thoughtful and effective. However, when the storm of emotions takes over and you lose your temper or react impulsively, the situation escalates. Emotions run wild, and in the heat of the moment, it becomes harder to think clearly. Frustration and anger cloud your judgment, and before you know it, a situation that could have been resolved with a calm conversation turns into an emotional battlefield. You may regret your words and actions later, but the damage could already be done. Anger, when expressed unchecked, can leave scars, both on relationships and on your own heart. The strain it creates between you and loved ones can last far longer than the initial argument, and it can lead to a rift that takes a long time to heal. As you grow older, the importance of learning to control your emotions, especially anger, becomes even more paramount. I've come to believe that anger isn't just an emotional response. It's a silent poison, one that chips away at your inner peace and physical health. The old saying, "When anger arises, reason fades," couldn't be truer. When we allow anger to rule, it clouds our judgment and diminishes our ability to make sound decisions. In moments of intense emotion, it's easy to speak or act impulsively. You may lash out at those you love, say things you don't mean, or do things that harm the relationships you've worked so hard to build. It's during these moments of vulnerability that we often regret not holding our emotions in check. Anger and frustration are so powerful. They can harm not only the people around you but also yourself. Over time, unresolved anger can have serious physical consequences. The stress that builds from anger can raise your blood pressure, increase your risk for heart disease, and manifest in countless other physical ailments. It's not just your emotional health that's at risk, but your body, too. But perhaps the most devastating effect of unchecked anger is the social isolation it can bring, especially as you get older. I've seen it firsthand. When someone is constantly angry, people begin to distance themselves. Nobody wants to be around someone who is always irritable or snapping at them. In your later years, when the people around you are the lifeblood of your emotional well-being, this isolation can feel even heavier. It's like a slow, quiet withdrawal from the world, one that leaves you yearning for connection but too proud or too hurt to make the first move. Losing those connections can be one of the most painful parts of aging. That's why it's so important to remain calm, not just for the sake of your health, but for the sake of the relationships you cherish. Maintaining calmness in difficult moments allows you to respond with kindness and empathy, creating a positive atmosphere where love and understanding can flourish. It allows you to act with reason rather than reacting with emotion. Staying calm is like building an emotional bridge, one that connects hearts rather than driving them apart. I know firsthand how much easier it is said than done. But I truly believe that with practice, anyone can cultivate a sense of calm, even in the face of adversity. You can start small by integrating practices that help ground you. Techniques like mindfulness, meditation, or even simple deep breathing exercises can be transformative. And sometimes, it's as simple as taking a step back, gaining some perspective, and recognizing that a moment of calm is far more powerful than a moment of impulsive anger. Journaling, reflecting quietly on the situation, or taking a walk in nature can also help clear your mind and restore emotional balance. These small acts of self-care create the space you need to regain composure. As you grow older, the ability to remain calm can become a form of emotional resilience, a safeguard against the turbulence of life's inevitable challenges. And by making calmness your practice, you also enhance your relationships, creating a haven for your loved ones to turn to when they need peace or guidance. Ultimately, staying calm is not just about your well-being. It's about fostering an environment where understanding, patience, and love can thrive, where bonds can strengthen rather than weaken. So, let calmness be your anchor. Let it guide you, not only through difficult times but also in moments of joy. Because the beauty of aging gracefully is not just in the wisdom you've gained, but in the peaceful presence you bring to the world around you. 6. Embrace positive thinking about aging. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Aging is a natural part of life, but for many of us, it's a transition that's often met with resistance and anxiety. It's so easy to buy into society's obsession with youth and beauty, constantly feeling the weight of aging on our shoulders as the years pass. We're conditioned to chase after the illusion of eternal youth, and it's hard not to get caught up in the whirlwind of expectations and self-doubt that accompanies it. But here's the truth: aging doesn't have to be a time of loss. It can be the beginning of something incredibly beautiful, full of growth, wisdom, and moments of true joy. Yes, aging comes with challenges. Changes in physical health, the inevitable slowing down, or perhaps a shift in social dynamics that leaves you feeling disconnected. You may find yourself depending more on others, and that can be frustrating, especially if you've been fiercely independent throughout your life. I won't lie, there will be moments of sadness, perhaps even frustration as you come to terms with the new limitations of aging. But I truly believe that focusing on those challenges alone only diminishes the richness of life that still awaits you. There's so much more to living than what you lose, and I'd like to encourage you to shift your perspective, just a little bit, to see the incredible wealth that aging has given you. The gift of aging is experience. As you grow older, you accumulate memories, insights, and wisdom, treasures that younger generations haven't had the time to collect. The experiences you've gone through, the challenges you've weathered, and the lessons you've learned, these are priceless. You know things now that you couldn't have possibly understood in your younger years. And this wisdom allows you to make better decisions, appreciate life more deeply, and offer guidance to others who look up to you. There is such beauty in knowing that you've lived long enough to see the world change, to witness the cycles of life, and to know that your role in it all matters. I truly believe that your 60s, 70s, and even 80s can be among the most fulfilling years of your life. With the right mindset, aging doesn't have to mean slowing down. It can mean living with more freedom, passion, and enthusiasm than ever before. You no longer have the heavy burden of raising children or climbing the corporate ladder. Instead, you have the luxury to focus on yourself, on self-care, on passions that bring you joy, and on experiences that make your heart sing. You are allowed to take this time to explore, to rediscover parts of yourself that were buried under years of responsibility and duty. Instead of looking in the mirror and focusing on the gray hairs or the lines that have deepened, look at those changes as symbols of your strength, your journey, and your growth. Celebrate them. Your health, both physical and mental, is deeply connected to the way you view yourself and your aging process. I've read studies that prove that a positive mindset can improve everything from your heart health to your immune system. The impact of positive thinking on aging is profound. It can extend your life and make your golden years more vibrant. Aging should never be feared. It's a privilege that not everyone gets, and each day that passes is another day filled with potential. It's about making memories, embracing the beauty of every moment, and creating new possibilities. Rather than seeing this stage of life as the twilight years, think of it as a new era, a golden era. With age comes confidence, and with confidence comes the ability to truly appreciate the beauty of life in a way that no one under 40 could ever understand. You, with all your experiences and wisdom, are a treasure. You enrich not only your own life, but the lives of everyone around you. Your family, your friends, your community. So, as you enter this stage of life, do it with gratitude. Do it with enthusiasm. Do it with optimism. Because when you embrace aging with positivity, you can inspire everyone around you to do the same. Your life is a living testament to the beauty of growing older, and there's no greater gift than that. So, as you face the inevitable changes that come with aging, do it with an open heart, ready to embrace the new adventures, lessons, and joys that await you. 1. Personal regrets. Regret is an incredibly heavy burden to carry, one that can weigh down even the most resilient of hearts. As we age, it's only natural to look back on the tapestry of our lives with a mix of nostalgia, sorrow, and reflection. The choices we made, whether they were about our careers, our relationships, or personal dreams, have shaped the very essence of who we are today. It's human to wonder how different things might have been if we had taken a different path. Perhaps if I had chosen a different career or nurtured a relationship I let slip away, life would have unfolded in a way that felt more fulfilling. These thoughts often flood the mind, especially when the passage of time makes the missed opportunities feel all the more poignant. While it may feel cathartic to express these deep regrets to our family members, to unburden ourselves by sharing the disappointments we carry within, sometimes, doing so can lead to unintended consequences. It's tempting to think that by sharing the weight of our regrets, we might receive comfort or understanding from those closest to us. Yet, it often results in the opposite, casting shadows over those we love. We may find temporary relief, but the emotional toll it takes on those who care about us can be far greater than we initially realize. Take, for instance, the well-meaning confiding in children. If you share with them that you regret choosing a particular career or didn't follow a dream you held dear, you may unintentionally plant seeds of doubt in their hearts. Instead of feeling inspired by your experiences, they might begin to worry that their own choices could one day lead to the same kind of sorrow. They may wonder, what if I, too, am walking the wrong path? The unintended consequence here is that your regret, instead of offering wisdom or clarity, only deepens their fears. And then, there's the impact of lamenting about past relationships. How many times have we wished we had married someone else or handled a certain situation differently? If we share such thoughts, we risk making our loved ones feel uneasy about their relationships. It's a heartbreaking reality, but instead of feeling close, they may begin to question the stability of their own love lives. Even talking about missed opportunities, whether it's traveling the world or pursuing a passion project, can leave others feeling helpless, as they know that time cannot be reversed. In essence, while reflection is an important part of life, there is a fine line between sharing wisdom and burdening others with our regrets. Oversharing can create emotional distance rather than closeness. The people who love you may feel helpless in how to comfort you, unsure of how to lift the weight of your past disappointments. Worse yet, some may even feel guilty as though they are to blame for your perceived failures, even though they had no part in them. This can lead to a toxic sense of sorrow and anxiety, which only pulls everyone further apart. But here's what I believe. While reflection is not inherently bad, The way we choose to share our past mistakes makes all the difference. Instead of focusing on the painful what-ifs, perhaps we could shift the narrative toward lessons learned. Perhaps we could share how those missed opportunities, those regrets, have transformed into wisdom that can guide others. If you regret not traveling more, don't focus on the pain of untraveled roads, but encourage others to go while they can. If you regret not following a certain passion, inspire those around you to chase their dreams fearlessly. By doing so, you turn your regret into something empowering, something that can help others avoid the same mistakes. In the end, what matters most is how we use our experiences, not as a tool for wallowing in sorrow, but as a way to enrich the lives of others. Life is full of ups and downs, and no one is perfect. What we can control, however, is how we share our journeys with others. Instead of leaving behind a legacy of regret, let's leave behind a legacy of lessons, reminding our loved ones that every moment offers the opportunity to make choices that bring fulfillment, joy, and peace. 2. Financial struggles or successes. Money is a central part of our lives. It influences our choices, our relationships, and the way we view ourselves. However, it's one of those subjects we often fail to truly understand in its full depth, especially when it comes to how it affects the people closest to us. At first glance, sharing our financial struggles or successes with family and friends may seem like a natural thing to do. But when we dig deeper, we realize that doing so can create a web of emotions that may not have been anticipated. When we're struggling financially, it's natural to feel overwhelmed, helpless, and perhaps even ashamed. We want to express our feelings, to seek understanding, and to share the burden. But by doing so, we can unintentionally put a strain on our relationships. The people who love us may feel an overwhelming sense of guilt, an unspoken obligation to step in and help, even if they are not in a position to do so. This, in turn, can cause tension and discomfort. As we get older, our financial challenges may become even more pronounced, and sharing this burden with others can create unnecessary stress for those who are already dealing with their financial pressures. Repeatedly discussing financial hardship can also shift the dynamic of a relationship, sometimes creating an unhealthy dependency. Instead of feeling supported, we may start to feel like we are being treated as a burden. But on the flip side, discussing our financial successes, especially when shared out of pride or excitement, can bring about its own set of complications. There's an unfortunate truth that not everyone will celebrate your success with genuine happiness. Instead, some might feel envy, resentment, or develop unrealistic expectations. They might start believing that you have an endless supply of resources, and before long, subtle or not so subtle requests for financial assistance begin to creep in. In the most unfortunate cases, this shift in behavior can lead to tension, or even rifts, within families. Siblings, children, or extended relatives might view you through a different lens, one that is clouded by the assumption that you are either a financial savior or someone who has it all figured out. The delicate balance of love and respect can quickly crumble if money becomes the centerpiece of every conversation. Friendships, too, can suffer if they're tainted by comparisons about financial success or struggles. Rather than discussing the specifics of our financial situations, it's often far more helpful to share the lessons we've learned along the way. Teaching the younger generation about the importance of budgeting, saving, and making smart financial decisions can be far more beneficial than focusing on the numbers in our bank accounts. By doing so, we empower others to be independent, responsible, and financially literate. This approach not only prevents misunderstandings but also promotes a healthier relationship with money, one that isn't tied to guilt, shame, or expectation. Maintaining financial privacy doesn't mean secrecy. It means setting healthy boundaries that safeguard both your emotional well-being and your relationships. When we stop letting money be the focal point of every interaction, we allow our relationships to be built on trust, respect, and genuine connection. Money, when treated as a tool rather than a measure of our worth, allows us to live richer, more meaningful lives, not just in terms of material wealth, but in terms of the depth of our emotional connections. 3. Negative opinions about family members. Expressing strong negative opinions about a family member's behavior or choices can be like planting seeds of division that may never fully heal. Words, once spoken, cannot be taken back, and their impact can echo for years, causing rifts that are difficult, if not impossible, to repair. Family is meant to be a source of unconditional support, a foundation of love and respect. When we allow criticism to replace compassion, we undermine the very core of those relationships. Every family member deserves to feel valued, seen, and understood. When we criticize rather than empathize, we risk turning what should be a haven into a battleground. I've witnessed how a single harsh comment, spoken out of frustration or judgment, can create an emotional wound that never fully heals. It changes the way family members interact, often making them wary or defensive. The very fabric of connection starts to fray, and it's heartbreaking to watch. Instead of rushing to criticize, what if we took a moment to understand the context behind someone's actions? What pressures might they be facing? What unspoken struggles are they battling that we don't know about? By approaching family members with curiosity and empathy rather than judgment, we open the door to deeper understanding and connection. It's in these moments of compassion that we build stronger, more resilient relationships. Taking the time to truly listen, to hear someone's heart, not just their words, can make all the difference. I believe that when we choose empathy over criticism, we set a powerful example for younger generations. We teach them the value of patience, of understanding, and of choosing kindness over harsh words. It's through these lessons that we create a family dynamic built on trust, respect, and unwavering support. In the long run, it's the relationships we nurture with love and understanding that stand the test of time. We cannot avoid conflict, but we can certainly choose how we navigate it. By prioritizing empathy over judgment, we not only strengthen our family bonds but also build a legacy of resilience, one that will carry our loved ones through even the toughest challenges. 4. Health concerns overly detailed. As we grow older, it's completely natural to want to keep our loved ones in the loop about our health, especially when our bodies may start to show signs of wear and tear. After all, they're the people who care about us deeply and want to be there for us during times of struggle. But here's the thing. When health concerns start to consume every conversation, it subtly shifts the way people perceive us, and not in the way we may intend. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment below to let me know that you are still here with me. Instead of seeing you as the vibrant, independent, and capable individual they've always known, they may start to view you as fragile or helpless. And that shift in perception, no matter how unintentional, can feel like a heavy weight on your heart. It's not that they stopped loving you. It's that the dynamic of the relationship can change in ways that might make you feel smaller, weaker, less than who you are. And that's a painful thing to experience. Every conversation revolving around doctor visits, medication, and physical limitations can become emotionally draining, not just for you, but for your loved ones as well. The heavy focus on health issues can inadvertently create a barrier between you and those who truly care. Conversations that once were full of joy and shared experiences can now feel repetitive and discouraging. Imagine how it must feel for your family, hearing about every little discomfort and worry without the relief of hearing about the things that light up your life. Over time, this constant focus on your health struggles could make your loved ones feel helpless. They may feel unsure of how to respond or even hesitate to check in because they fear the conversation will always veer toward complaints and concerns. The emotional toll that this creates isn't a lack of care. It's just that the emotional energy required to always discuss health can lead to distance, even if no one wants it. They want to be there for you, but they may begin to feel like every interaction is a constant reminder of aging and vulnerability, and that's exhausting. Now, let me be clear. You should talk about your health if something is weighing on you, especially if it's something that your family needs to be aware of. But here's the thing, balance is key. Instead of letting health issues consume every conversation, why not talk about the things that bring you joy? Share a funny story from your past, talk about the new book you're reading, or maybe that fun recipe you tried the other day. When you focus on your interests, passions, and the positive things in your life, it creates a refreshing shift away from the endless cycle of decline. And if you do need to talk about health, consider reframing it in a way that keeps the conversation encouraging, rather than just a list of things that make you feel vulnerable. Share how you're taking care of yourself, whether that's through daily walks, a new diet plan, or something that's bringing you joy in your health journey. Reassure your loved ones that, yes, there are challenges, but you are actively working to stay as healthy and happy as possible. The truth is, by making these adjustments in how we discuss our health, we can maintain a connection with our loved ones that's filled with hope and positivity. Rather than seeing ourselves through the lens of sickness or decline, we remind our family and friends that we are so much more than our health struggles. We are complex, vibrant individuals with wisdom, humor, and experiences that go far beyond doctor's appointments. 5. Fears and anxieties about the future. As we grow older, there's no denying the fact that worries about the future can weigh heavily on our minds. It's a natural part of life to think about what's coming next, whether it's concerns about our health, our financial security, or how much longer we'll be able to maintain our independence. And if I'm being honest, it's almost impossible to escape the fear of what might happen when we outlive our savings, lose our health, or become a burden on our loved ones. These fears are valid, deeply human, and we all experience them at some point. But let's not sugarcoat it. The weight of these anxieties can be utterly overwhelming. Add to that the fear of loneliness, losing the people who matter most, or feeling disconnected from younger generations, and the pressure only intensifies. We also can't ignore the daily barrage of negative news about the world's problems. Politics, the economy, natural disasters. It's hard not to feel that the future is clouded with uncertainty and despair. And it's so easy to get consumed by those fears, isn't it? To constantly wonder about worst-case scenarios, to imagine the worst, to let anxiety dictate every moment of your day. But let me tell you, living in that constant state of fear does more harm than good. It makes your conversations feel draining, not just for you, but for the people around you. I've seen it happen. When someone becomes consumed by worry, it becomes the only thing they talk about. They might mention it in every conversation, letting the worst possible outcomes dominate every interaction. And while your loved ones understand and empathize, they can start to feel like they're walking on eggshells around you, unsure of how to help or what to say. That's why it's so important to find balance. It's okay to talk about your fears. I'm not saying you should bottle it all up. But if all your conversations are centered on worst-case scenarios and doom and gloom, it can feel emotionally exhausting for everyone involved. Life is already tough enough. We don't need to make it harder by focusing only on what could go wrong. Instead, try shifting your focus, even just a little bit. Embrace moments of gratitude. Look for the silver linings in your life, the things that are good right now. Start to reflect on the small joys, those things that often get overlooked in our frantic pursuit of answers to life's bigger questions. Have you had a peaceful moment with a cup of tea? Did a song bring you peace today? Did you share a laugh with a friend? By refocusing your energy on the things you can control, whether that's taking care of your body, nurturing your relationships, or staying engaged in the things that bring you joy, you'll begin to shift the atmosphere around you. You can still acknowledge your fears, but you don't have to let them define you. And guess what? You are so much more than your worries. Gratitude is a powerful tool, a balm for the soul. By taking time each day to reflect on the blessings in your life, big or small, you not only ease your anxiety but also open your heart to the possibility of joy in the here and now. It's a game changer, truly. And don't forget the power of connection. Spend time with loved ones, indulge in hobbies that bring you purpose, or even help others in ways that bring fulfillment. Of course, there will be days when the fear feels all-consuming. There will be moments when your mind races, and you can't help but imagine the worst. And on those days, it's okay to lean on others. Talk to someone who can offer support and comfort, whether that's a family member, a friend, or a counselor. We don't have to carry these burdens alone. Ultimately, Life is a delicate balance. Yes, the future can be uncertain, but by staying rooted in the present and embracing a mindset of resilience, gratitude, and joy, you'll find that there's still so much to be thankful for. The world is not all doom and gloom. There are moments of beauty, hope, and love. And even amid uncertainty, there is still light to be found. Don't let fear steal your peace. Embrace the present, and walk forward with the knowledge that even in the hardest times, you are never truly alone. 6. Past mistakes or secrets. As we grow older, it's natural to reflect on the lives we've lived, to ponder the choices we've made, and to wish, in our quieter moments, that we could go back and make different decisions. The regrets, the mistakes, the things we wish we'd done better, they can sometimes feel like heavy stones around our necks, haunting our thoughts. There may be a deep urge to open up to others, to share the mistakes we've made or the secrets we've kept, hoping that in doing so, we'll find some measure of peace, understanding, or closure. But here's where things get complicated. Honesty is important, yes, but sometimes the truth can be more painful than healing. In our desire to unburden ourselves, we may forget to consider the impact our revelations might have on those around us. Not every secret, not every mistake, needs to be shared. Sometimes, in the pursuit of peace, we inadvertently stir up old wounds or cause emotional harm. Before you open up, ask yourself, what's the true motivation behind wanting to share this part of my past? Is it because I want to heal, to seek forgiveness, or to be transparent with the people I care about? Or am I just trying to release my guilt, to make myself feel better at the expense of someone else's emotional well-being? It's easy to think that by sharing, we're doing the right thing. But not all truth is meant to be revealed. In some cases, sharing past mistakes or secrets could lead to more confusion, more pain, and more distance in relationships that we've worked so hard to build. It could reignite past arguments or stir up emotions that are better left undisturbed. Timing also plays a huge role. Is the person you're confiding in emotionally ready to handle what you're about to share? Can they process it in a way that leads to healing, or will it overwhelm them? Sometimes, the right time to share is not now. Sometimes, it's best to protect the peace of your relationships by letting the past stay where it belongs, behind you. As we age, one of the most profound lessons we can learn is the power of forgiveness. Forgiving others is essential, but just as importantly, we must learn to forgive ourselves. The mistakes we've made, the things we wish we could undo, they don't define us. Instead, it's the lessons we've learned, the growth we've experienced, and the love we've shared that truly matter. If you feel the urge to confess, consider whether there's a healthier, more constructive way to do so. Maybe a counselor, a trusted friend, or even a spiritual guide can help you process these feelings in a way that doesn't burden those closest to you. Sometimes, the weight of our secrets is best shared in a space where there is no judgment, just understanding. Ultimately, as we age, we have the opportunity to leave behind the burdens of the past. Instead of focusing on what we could have done differently, let's focus on how far we've come. Let's shift our attention from regret to acceptance, from guilt to peace. Our past mistakes do not have to be our future. We have the power to rewrite our story, to grow, to forgive, and to embrace the present with grace. Let go of the need to confess every detail, and free yourself from the weight of yesterday. It's time to live fully in the now, with wisdom and love. 7. Comparisons between family members. There is perhaps no greater source of emotional turmoil within a family than comparisons. Comparing one family member to another, whether in terms of achievements, financial success, personality traits, intelligence, or lifestyle choices, can inflict deep emotional wounds that may never fully heal. While some believe that making these comparisons serves as motivation, a way to inspire one to achieve more or be better, the consequences often tell a different story. These comparisons foster negative emotions like resentment, jealousy, insecurity, and at worst, outright estrangement between family members. In my opinion, comparisons are poison to the soul. They create a toxic undercurrent in families, often undermining any sense of togetherness or mutual support. No two people are alike. Everyone is on their journey, shaped by unique experiences, opportunities, challenges, and personal choices. Expecting family members to measure up to one another in the same way is not only unrealistic but destructive. It damages their self-esteem, and I have seen firsthand how it can harm their mental well-being in ways that are hard to undo. One sibling may excel in one area, perhaps their career, finances, or even social life, while another shines in a completely different aspect. Maybe they're more creative, emotionally intelligent, or naturally nurturing. Instead of celebrating these differences, comparisons create a sense of inadequacy. It's heartbreaking to witness. When one family member is continually praised while another is criticized, either openly or subtly, it creates an unhealthy dynamic. Take, for example, parents who incessantly compare their children's academic success or career achievements. They may not realize it, but they are inadvertently cultivating competition rather than unity. Rather than feeling like a team, these children begin to view each other as rivals. This can lead to the most painful feelings of all. Feelings of not being good enough or not being seen for who you truly are. Imagine being a child constantly told that you're not as successful or not as capable as your sibling. What does that do to your heart, to your spirit? It's not just discouraging, it's soul-crushing. I've witnessed once close siblings begin to drift apart, consumed by bitterness, rivalry, and the fear of always falling short. They forget to celebrate each other's successes because they are too busy feeling inadequate. Even grandparents aren't immune to the dangers of comparisons. A grandmother praising one grandchild for being a genius, while disparaging another for struggling with schoolwork, unknowingly plants seeds of insecurity that can grow into lifelong issues. I've seen how these words, though seemingly harmless, can wound a child's heart in ways that endure long after the conversation ends. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 5 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Similarly, in marriages and partnerships, comparisons are just as destructive. I've heard stories where one spouse compares the other to someone else's achievements, whether it's in housekeeping, career ambition, or personal appearance. Simple comments like, "Why can't you keep the house as neat as my friend's wife?" Or, "Why aren't you more ambitious like my brother-in-law?" can tear apart the emotional connection in a relationship. The person on the receiving end of these comparisons feels crushed under the weight of the expectation to live up to someone else's standard, and eventually, resentment brews. What is supposed to be a partnership built on mutual respect and love becomes a battleground, where each person is simply trying to live up to the other's expectations. It's devastating to watch, and I truly believe that no one should ever have to feel like they are constantly being measured against someone else in their own home. Rather than focusing on comparisons, I firmly believe that families should strive to embrace and celebrate each person's individuality. A healthier approach involves appreciating the unique qualities and strengths that each family member brings to the table. Encouraging one another to be authentic, to be true to themselves, creates an atmosphere of love and respect, where everyone feels valued for exactly who they are. When a family can operate from a place of encouragement and mutual support, it transforms into a nurturing environment, one where success is not a competition but a shared celebration. We should aim to elevate each other, not diminish one another. Families thrive when they focus on creating bonds that are strong and unbreakable. The key is recognizing that we each have our own strengths and contributions. Instead of comparing, let's celebrate. Let's lift each other up with pride. There's no greater gift than knowing that you are loved for exactly who you are, not for how well you measure up to anyone else. 8. Overly critical views of life. As we age and experience more of what life has to offer, we naturally accumulate a wealth of experiences, wisdom, and perspectives. These experiences, both good and bad, shape the way we see the world, influencing our opinions and sometimes even our frustrations. It's only natural to feel nostalgic for the past, to wish for simpler times when things seemed easier or more meaningful. But here's the thing. Constantly harboring negative opinions and openly criticizing the present can slowly but surely erode our relationships and our overall sense of peace. I understand the urge to criticize. I've done it myself, especially when I see changes that don't seem to make sense or when the world seems to be moving at an alarming pace. However, I've learned that harboring a negative outlook can be exhausting. Not just for you, but for those around you. When we repeatedly voice our dissatisfaction, whether it's with modern society, technology, or cultural shifts, it can wear people down. I've seen friends, family members, and even acquaintances distance themselves because they simply couldn't bear the weight of perpetual criticism. It's so easy to idealize the past, to think things were better back in the day. But what if we could look at life today through a different lens? Sure, society has changed. There are things we may not agree with, but there are also so many positives. The advancements in medicine, the ability to connect with others across the globe, the increased awareness around health and well-being. These are all things we can be grateful for. Yes, modern challenges exist, but they aren't all bad. We need to remind ourselves that change, though difficult, is not inherently bad. There's an overwhelming joy in shifting our perspective from negativity to curiosity. Instead of immediately criticizing something we don't understand, what if we approached it with an open heart and mind? What if we listened to others with genuine curiosity, offering encouragement rather than critique? This is where true connection lies. It's about embracing the good, even when it's hidden beneath the surface. Being open-minded is the key to not only adapting to the world around us, but also to fostering deeper, more meaningful relationships with the people we care about. Being overly critical of others, too, whether it's about their decisions, behaviors, or opinions, can be incredibly isolating. People don't want to feel judged. They want to feel heard and understood. As we age, we realize that each generation faces its own unique set of struggles and triumphs. The key is not to dismiss those struggles, but to recognize that they are valid. When we shift from a place of judgment to one of understanding, we open the door to deeper, more authentic connections. This is what aging gracefully is truly about: adaptability. Not just in the physical sense, but in the emotional and mental realms as well. Being able to embrace change with a sense of gratitude and curiosity rather than bitterness is a powerful thing. It doesn't mean ignoring the hardships of the present, but it does mean choosing to focus on the positives instead of being consumed by negativity. It's about being the kind of person who brings warmth, light, and a sense of peace to those around them rather than dragging them down with complaints and criticism. When we focus on the beauty in life, the small joys, the connections we make, the growth we experience, we make room for positivity. We create an environment where people want to be around us, where relationships are rich and fulfilling. And this, to me, is what makes life worth living. As we age, we have the power to decide how we want to experience life, whether we choose to be bitter or whether we choose to embrace each day with gratitude, joy, and an open heart. We must be the architects of our happiness and the peace we seek. Life is too short to waste on negativity. It's time to turn our focus toward what we can celebrate, what we can appreciate, and how we can bring light into the world, even as it continues to change. As we've explored today, comparisons between family members and overly critical views of life can deeply impact our relationships, emotional well-being, and overall sense of peace. We've seen how constantly measuring one family member against another can create divisions, insecurities, and a sense of inadequacy. And we've discussed how embracing change with gratitude and understanding, instead of bitterness and criticism, can help us build stronger, more meaningful relationships and lead to a more fulfilling life. Now, I want to hear from you. What have you learned from today's video? Is there one thing you've realized that you will bring into practice in your own life moving forward? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please leave your comment below and share with us what you'll take away from this. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Your support means a lot, and we can't wait to continue this journey with you. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.